Well, shalom, everybody. Welcome back. In today's episode, I am going to be sharing with you what the sacred name of God is. A lot of people ask me that question, and I obviously love to put it all over my Mattah, and then you guys get to watch me make the Sacred Fire, Sacred Scepter Mattah. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Messiah's Worship Warriors of the World. Okay, so let's talk about our Sacred Fire, Sacred Scepter Mattah. I actually released these 1 to 2 years ago. Might have been 3 years ago. I had a really good time with it. It was a lot of work. So considering the price of the Mattah plus how long it took me, I was really only like walking away with maybe $1 or $2 an hour that I was making on them. So it just wasn't worth the effort I was putting into it. But they did pretty well back then. I couldn't actually keep them in stock. That's part of the reason I stopped carrying them, was because it was just I didn't have enough time. I did not have enough time to make them. But I'm in a better place now and getting work done more efficiently. We've come up with some solutions to make it faster so I can get it out there quicker for people, and so that I'm not stretching myself out so thin. So regarding the design and what inspired me to make the design, I've been getting around a lot of natives, especially the Muskogee. I'm not really sure what it is about the Muskogee. So it seems like the Muskogee, the Cherokee, kind of the Choctaw. Those are the ones that I seem to be getting around a lot. Oh, and the Kiowa. Can't forget the Kiowa. And I had a conversation with one of the Muskogee elders. Sweet, sweet lady. In fact, that reminds me, I need to send her a message. And she started to explain to me that their people have what's called a sacred fire. And the way I understand it is that it's an actual fire that has been burning for centuries. Maybe not quite that long. I don't know. A really long time. So it's one of those things where they don't let the fire go out. And that's actually something that's significant in scripture. On the altar of God, in the tabernacle or the temple, the fire on the altar was to never go out. They had to follow some very strict protocols if it ever did. Anyway, I had been thinking about that, thinking about God's sacred fire within us, because our hearts are our altars now to the Father. There is no temple, so we are the temple. And so our hearts are the altar for God. We need to keep it constantly burning. Well, that does suggest that our hearts could grow cold, in which that altar does, we stop feeding the fire. And so the fire on the altar goes out. So anyway, I was thinking about a lot of these things. I just really wanted something that would portray that. And what I love about the Mattah is that it's so, I often have these visions of myself holding it close to my heart. So anyway, I was thinking about all those things as far as sacred fire goes, and the design that I came up with came out in the form of a sacred scepter, as I have shown you. So this is the sacred name of God. It is the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Okay, so Hebrew is not written this way anymore. It is very old. We're talking thousands of years old. And it's God's sacred name. A lot of Christians do not realize that God has an actual name. And a lot of them think that that's not significant. In fact, some of them even think that that's bad. God doesn't have a name, and I don't understand why they think that that's bad. The reason that I think that names are important is because there are multiple cultures out there that have tons of gods. Like, think about the Indians, not American Indians. We're talking about the Indians out in India. The Hindus, they have over 1,000 gods, I believe, and each one of them have a name. So it's kind of important to be able to explain to them who you're talking about. Otherwise, and I have actually seen this happen, they're going to be like, which God are you talking about? And why doesn't he have a name? Not that God is limited within a name or anything, but you see him mention his name when he speaks to Moses, because Moses asks him, what is your name? And he comes back with, I am that I am. And that is what that name means. Now, there is actually a deeper meaning to the sacred name. The sacred name is in Hebrew, and Hebrew is not just a symbolic name. Excuse me, it's not just a symbolic language. It's also a pictorial language. So when you look at the pictures behind each symbol, each one has a meaning. And so when you go, it's basically the sacred name of God is Yod, He, Vav, He. It's actually from the right to left. His name is spelled Yod, He, Vav, He. So that those are the Hebrew letters, Yod, He, Vav, He. What it means is behold the hand, behold the nail. Or it could be behold the nail, behold the hand, something. Anyway, you get the idea. It's depicting an actual picture of Yeshua and what he did on the cross. So there you go. I love the sacred name. I think the Paleo Hebrew of the sacred name is beautiful. It feels very tribal to me. And of course, my call is to the tribal people. If you are new here, then you may not know that I am Hawaiian and also Cherokee. So my whole ministry is to the native people. So there you have it. Now, I think that's enough yapping. Let's move on to the making of the Sacred Fire Sacred Scepter Mattah. Enjoy watching it, and I will see you here in the next video.